Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Srila Paramahamsa Dhṛtarāṣṭra Stotara Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhai Charan Arvind Bhakti Raghava Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai the Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Skandiviti Founder Acharyas Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Namacharyas Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai Harinama Sankirtana Ki Jai Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Jai Thai Gaura Primanande all glories to the Sama devotees, all glories to the Sama devotees, all glories to the Sama devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada Ki
Jai Sri Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Tatsuranmiritam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamanam Sri Gurum Vaishnavam Syam Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vikam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tattakanta Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Todayam Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very means of conquest, let us first offer respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Prayashabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed or practically to nil, and a loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, it becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahmasamitam Uttama Shloka Charitam Sakara Bhagavan Rishi Yudhiṣṭhira Sayalokasya Dhanyam Swasthanam Mahat Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Dhṛtarāṣṭra, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, the Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda,
Prabhu Nityananda,
Sri Advaita Gadadhar,
Sri Advaita Gadadhar,
Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda,
Srivasadi
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya,
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 Om Surabhyaya Namaha,
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 Om Surabhyaya Namaha.
Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripa
Vande Sri Gurum Dinatayam
yat kripa Vande Sri Guru Dinatayam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome to our morning Bhagavatam class, continuing Canto number 1, chapter 15, which is entitled Dhṛtarāṣṭra Quits Home. Text number 39, correct, 39. Yudhiṣṭhira tapasvini
Bhagavatāśra tapasvini,
Yudhiṣṭhira uvaca
Yudhiṣṭhira uvaca,
Naham vedam gatir pitror
Naham veda gatim pitro,
Bhagwan kwa gatavita
Bhagavan kva gatavitaha,
Ambava hata putrarta
Ambava hata putrartha,
Swagata cha tapasvini
Vagata cha tapasvini.
Yudhiṣṭhira uvaca
Yudhiṣṭhira uvaca,
Naham veda gatir pitro
Naham veda gatim pitro,
Bhagavan kwa gatavitaha
Bhagavan kva gatavitaha,
Ambava hata putrarta
Ambava hata putrartha,
Swagata cha tapasvini
Vagata cha tapasvini.
Yudhiṣṭhira uvaca
Yudhiṣṭhira uvaca,
Naham veda gatim pitro
Naham veda gatim pitro,
Bhagavan kwa gatavitaha
Bhagavan kva gatavitaha,
Ambava hata putrarta
Ambava hata putrartha,
Swagata cha tapasvini
Vagata cha tapasvini.
Yudhiṣṭhira uvaca
Yudhiṣṭhira uvaca,
Naham vedam gatim pitro
Naham veda gatim pitro,
Bhagavan kwa gatavitaha
Bhagavan kva gatavitaha,
Ambava hata putrartha
Ambava hata putrartha,
Swagata cha tapasvini
Vagata cha tapasvini.
Yudhiṣṭhira Uvacha.
Yudhiṣṭhira uvaca,
Maharaj Yudhiṣṭhira said,
Maharaj Yudhiṣṭhira said,
Na,
No,
do not,
do not,
aham, myself,
myself,
Veda,
Veda,
know it,
knowing,
Gatim,
Gatim,
departure,
Devarṣi
Pitrohu,
Nārada,
of the uncles,
of the uncles,
Bhagavan,
Bhagavan,
O godly personality,
O godly personality,
Kva,
Kva,
where,
where,
Gatau,
Gatau,
gone,
gone,
Itaha,
Itaha,
from this place,
from this place,
Amba,
Amba,
mother and mother, aunt.
mother, aunt.
Va,
Va,
either.
either.
Hata putra,
Mata putra,
be, bereft of her sons.
bereft of her sons.
Artha,
Artha,
mm, aggrieved.
aggrieved.
Kva,
Qua,
where.
where.
Gata,
Gata,
gone.
gone.
Cha,
Cha,
also.
also.
Tapasvini,
Devasvini,
ascetic.
ascetic.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Raghava Swami Sridham Mayapur. Maharaj Yudhisthira said, O great, O godly personality, I do not know where my two uncles have gone, nor can I find my ascetic aunt who is grief-stricken by the loss of all her sons. Kindly repeat after me. Maharaj Yudhisthira said,
Maharaj Yudhiṣṭhira said,
O godly personality,
O godly personality,
I do not know
I did not know
where my two uncles have gone,
where my two uncles have gone,
nor can I find my ascetic aunt
nor can I find my ascetic aunt
who is grief-stricken
who is grief-stricken
by the loss of all her sons.
by the loss of all her sons.
Purport. Maharaj Yudhisthira is as good, as a good soul, and devotee of the Lord, was always conscious of the great loss of his aunt and her sufferings as an ascetic. An ascetic is never disturbed by all kinds of sufferings, and that makes him strong and determined on the path of spiritual progress. Queen Gāndhārī is a typical example of an ascetic because of her marvelous character in many trying situations. She was an ideal woman as mother, wife, and ascetic. And in the history of the world, such character in a woman is rarely found. Translation again. Maharaj Yudhisthira said, O godly personality, I do not know where my two uncles have gone, nor can I find my ascetic aunt who is grief-stricken by the loss of all her sons. So now the Narada Muni has come on the scene, and here Maharaj Yudhisthira is addressing him. Srila Prabhupada is pointing out how two main points that are referred to here, how Yudhisthira Maharaj, as a responsible king, and as a responsible devotee, was very much concerned about was aware of the great distress of especially Gāndhārī. Both Dhṛtarāṣṭra and Gāndhārī were mortified actually. Even losing one son, what to speak of losing all 100 sons, was a very great a challenge for them to bear this great loss. So that is being pointed out here, how a personality like Yudhiṣṭhira Maharaj is meant to have this type of sensitivity and compassion upon others. When we are lacking in God consciousness or Krishna consciousness, we are focused and centered on ourselves, on our situation. But great souls, like Yudhiṣṭhira Maharaj, is very much concerned about the welfare of other personalities. And of course, we know how in the Vedic culture especially, that is explained in the beginning, in the first canto, how Vedic culture is meant to give special care and attention to those who are especially dependent in society. Brahmanas are, although they are independent, they are dependent also. Means if one doesn't support Brahmanas, of course, being transcendentally situated, they will accept, learn to accept, and live with any kind of situation. And this is probably an area which is very much lacking, not probably, it is very much lacking in general society, even within our own ISKCON society, because we don't have that full Vedic culture where we value the contribution of those who are dedicated. Brahmana is someone who's totally fully dedicated to cultivating spiritual life, totally what is it? Oblivious to his material situation. And of course, just like of Srila Madhavendra Puri, who was very elevated personality, and who sometimes, I think we were speaking of Charitamrita, saintly persons, they are allowed to do madhukari, to collect alms. But Madhavendra Puri had taken a vow of never asking anyone anything, which is a very big vow. Because then you are totally at the mercy, you're totally depending on the Lord. And so this is these are different features of the Vedic culture, caring for others. Within our society, we have established what is called devotee care. It should be natural, but because we don't have a natural situation, we don't have all of the advantages that are there when Vedic culture is in place. Vedic culture means especially Varnashrama culture, which is favoring the development, as Narada Muni gives the list of the 30 qualities that are meant to be developed when such an atmosphere is created when such a social arrangement is present, people will naturally develop the 30 qualities that are mentioned, beginning with the beginning. Actually, those are the preliminary and in many ways foundational qualities to develop the other qualities, what we call the four pillars of Dharma, which are directly related with the four principles that are meant to be followed actually not only by people who take initiation, but actually by general society. So we are very far from what is meant to be the standard, and it's a tremendous challenge, of course, to reintroduce that standard. But by hearing of the activities of personalities like Yudhiṣṭhira Maharaj, then we can be reminded and we can learn. You know. The other point being underlined here in the purport is how ideal was a personality like Gāndhārī. She was three things mentioned here. She was an ideal mother. She was an ideal wife because she followed. Well, we know the whole story when she. in the Vedic times, marriages were arranged marriages, and when she came to know that her husband was blind, that's whole. We don't see such kind of examples in modern day society. She voluntarily, for her whole life, you know, took that decision of as a major decision, obviously, you know, of blindfolding herself for the whole life, simply because she had that very nice understanding that I should not be in a superior position to my husband. In Vedic culture, wife is meant to actually serve the husband in the mood and mentality of a disciple, to assist the husband in all of his different activities and responsibilities, and naturally the husband, as a father or as a teacher, as a guru, is meant to give all protection and provide for all the necessities of such a devoted and a surrendered wife. Of course, for that to happen, there needs to be qualified. Yes.
Maharaj, it is my understanding, I don't know if I'm correct.
Yes.
According to my understanding, I don't think women need dikshas at all. If the husbands are devoted to the guru, what is the necessity of women?
That is a whole topic which, when Vedic culture is established, then that naturally follows through.
So is it correct, Maharaj?
Well, that is the Vedic standard. I think the Vedic standard is that the wife considers her husband as guru. As a matter of fact, quite recently, I forget one of my disciples who's a grihastha. I was surprised actually. One of my disciples here in India, I was inquiring about who was actually initiated in the family besides him. I was asking about his wife actually, whether she was initiated. And then he told me the following reply. He gave the following reply. He says, "My wife, she's content and happy with just serving me, as she's accepting me as guru." Same point you're making, actually. When the Vedic culture is in place, that is that is actually the norm. The just like we have Diksha ceremony. So the marriage ceremony is actually the Diksha ceremony.
Yes.
When the wife actually accepts the husband as guru. But because the Vedic culture for the last so many centuries actually, so our, beginning from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they have introduced initiation for women. Now, because we have still many challenges in terms of what they call the V word, some people, means Varnashram. So we are very far from having that ideal situation, and therefore many things we cannot understand. We just cannot understand. So therefore, that's one of the important. You see, the more we are not following what is meant to be the norm. The norm in society, the norm in Vedic society, is that there's the system of Varna Ashrama. I mean, it's there even if that culture is not there, because by nature everyone is influenced in different ways by the modes of material nature, and some people are more taking up activities of brahmanas, some are taking more activities of kshatriyas, etc. But the purified system is where everyone is very elevated in God consciousness, and specifically Krishna consciousness. Or when we follow the norm actually, part of the norm, a big part of the norm, is to be, and that's a big challenge actually in modern day society, but a big part of the norm is to understand how we are meant to live off the land. Agrarian culture. Vedic culture is primarily an agrarian culture. Why? Because one of the four standard basic sciences, which is the science of economics, is based on cows and land. Now we may think that because that's how it's written in the history, people used to live in villages. They were backwards. This is backward living. That's not backward living. What is backward living is how we're living today. We falsely think that we are advanced, because of technology, because of industry, etc., material so-called development. This so-called material development actually is making us backward in terms of what is meant to be the real goal and purpose of life. Even we cannot, in the present context of modern day society, the way we're living, the kind of occupations we are taking, and are, totally polluted actually, totally polluted, just like not the very big controversial topic of AI. AI, like most people are just like, wow, we can save so much time. It can help us individually and help society. And they just recently had a big summit conference in France. And everyone is, wow, yes. But the very word AI begins with artificial. It's something artificial. Why we should adopt something artificial? we're already artificial. We're already not understanding our natural position as servants of Krishna, isn't it? Now we want to add more artificial.
Very dangerous to the society.
It will. It is. The whole modern setup, the whole mode of living, the whole mentality which is prevailing everywhere. It is all Kali's setup. We're being set up.
Sort of.
We're being set up actually for ultimately extinction, annihilation. Already we are disconnected with what is meant to be the real purpose and the real values of life, isn't it? Because of very heavy propaganda and because of which is primarily the theme and the reality of modern day city life, urban living. And we therefore have become heavily conditioned, and we as devotees are also very seriously affected by all of this, without very often being of how we are so very negatively affected, to the point that actually we cannot even understand some of the basic principles and concepts that are explained actually in the Bhagavatam. Prescribed duties being one of them. Prescribed duties. When we just hear this word, we think of, well, yeah, duties. Everyone is meant to do something. Everyone has a job, this and that. But we don't understand that Vedic culture is proposing, is actually delineating and giving us specific Vedic prescribed duties, which are those Vedic, excuse me, those Vedic prescribed duties are there in the Shastra to favor and to help ultimately primary goal and purpose of life, which is to become self-realized. Simple example, the prescribed duties, and this is not at all easy to understand or to accept, but the prescribed duties as explained by Narada Muni, here Narada Muni is coming on the scene now, in the 7th canto, prescribed duties for the vast majority of householders, as we mentioned again and again, is meant to be connected with